Hello survivors, and welcome to another Engineer Soulstone Survivors video. In today's video we are actually going to be looking at doing a material farm because of the brand new system with the blacksmith and upgrading weapons. As you can see, getting a lot of materials is now very necessary. So you can see I'm missing amethyst, I'm missing diamonds, I'm actually missing a lot of what's that other one over here? We're wasting orichalcum and so on and so forth. So I've got to do some farming in the frozen wastelands. We are going to do it in Overlord and see just how much of it we get. Now Overlord did change where every time you go through a brand new portal, it's a random map. I think it actually cycles the map. So we start off, let's say I need the frozen wastelands. I don't know how true this is, so we're actually going to take a look, but it could possibly go from Frozen Wastelands to Dungeons of Despair, Scorching Valley, Whispering Grove, and then to Frozen Wastelands, or it could be completely random. If it cycles the maps, that's a lot better. It just means we have to get all the way to Overlord 6 to get back to the Frozen Wastelands. But if it's random and we'll end up getting the Frozen Wastelands more often, because we actually picked it first, then we know, okay, your starting map does make a difference. So we're going to test that out today and see how that works. For the character, again, playing the engineer, we're using his first weapon, and we're going to be playing with the burst of lead, guided missile, ammo box, heavy artillery, portable nuke, and then earthquake and earth shield. Now this gives us 2 bomb, 2 earth, 2 projectile, so we are going to have a lot of synergy over there. And then we've also got ammo box for the ammunition, although we do get it in our skill tree anyway, so you may not need ammunition or ammo box, but really you could go rapid fire. Again, it's ammunition, so do we really need it? So there is that. We don't need napalm because, again, that's shattered, but there's ammunition. Maybe grabbing something like weakening shots might be a little bit better, but we'll see how it goes. And then we've got the rest of them disoriented, we've got dazed, we've got aptitude, and then we are going to grab ourselves resilience and then colossal. And then for our runes, we are running endless refill, material harvest, and efficient extraction. Material harvest and efficient extraction are found in the Legionnaire and the Arcane Weaver skill trees. And then we're running synergetic, improved repotery, war tank, and battle proficiency. Battle proficiency is so that we can get more aptitude to prowess. That's how the skills chain in the buffing department. So we're going to go from aptitude to prowess, and then it goes prowess to resilience, and then we're going to have 2 resilience so that we can move on resilience to whatever it may be. I think it was something like form, maybe. So they'll work together, but we'll double check on what those were, and I'll let just put a comment down in I'll pin a comment on what it actually was when we get to it, because remembering everything on top of my head isn't okay. But let's get straight into it. We do have to play on the Frozen Wastelands. This is what we are running. We're running 37 curse, so I'm just going to quickly go over each of them. You can just slow down the video, or you can pause it each time, just have a look at it. So we're going to go through each one. That's curse 1, curse 2, curse 3, curse 4, curse 5, curse 6, curse 7. Now we do want on every single curse the House of Lords and the Council of Lords. The reason for that is we want every single boss to be alive. We do need the Void Presence alive as well, because we want the Void Essences. And the reason we want all the bosses alive is because the Ruin Material Harvest works whenever a major Soulstone you gain random minerals and gems for that map. So the more bosses we kill, the more materials we're going to be getting. So it just makes sense to kill as many of them as possible. So let's get straight into it, and let's see how this goes. So we start off with the burst of lead. It's probably not my favorite, but definitely a very strong skill compared to some of the others that we have been playing with recently. But still very fun to play, and just a really strong skill overall. So you can already see we do get some prowess over there from our rune. Battle efficiency, we did see some prowess, and we're just gonna chill in the corner and we're just gonna wait. And when we get to the Overlord cycles, one of the best ways for us to be able to see what map we're on is going to be the enemies that we fight. Obviously that's a really big given of what it is that you're playing against. So over here we got portable nuke as well as our heavy artillery, which is fantastic. We do want that beautiful epic relentless over there, so we will make sure to get it. And then now we've already got our bleed, we've got weakness, we've got disoriented up and running already. There's a lot already that we've got that we needed, and we are going to see some bleed. We might spec into it. I haven't actually personally decided whether or not to go down that route or whether or not we should or shouldn't. We don't have anything scaling with bleed, so it might be worth it, it might not be worth it, but in the end we'll just see what happens. Alright, nothing over there, so we re-rolled. There's Earthquake, beautiful. We got Dismemberment, so we might as well take it. It is very strong, and we already got our Bomb, so increasing the damage of other things for us, which is fantastic. There's Earth Shield, we get some damage on our Burst of Lead as well. Now, Burst of Lead being the way that it is, with a 0.2 second of aptitude gained each second, is very, very strong. Now there is a little tooltip bug already with a Burst of Lead that the developers do know about that will be changed in the next hotfix, or when there is a hotfix, this will get updated, and that is that the skill itself can show that you gain aptitude every 0 seconds. It's something to do with the the decimal system. It says it's 0 seconds, but it's actually 0.2 seconds the entire time, so don't stress too much about that. There is our guided missile, so we've got all of the skills we're looking for, which is fantastic. Now the engineer is a very tanky, beefy character, so we don't have to worry too much about it. We are going to get quite a bit of resilience there as well, and we do want to try, hopefully get ourselves a second dash at least, because as you can see we've only got one dash because of the war tank rune, which increases our block power. But because we do get the armor and block power on the engineer, we are looking at being a very, very tanky character. And as you can see there already, we've got ourselves some of the materials just from the first boss fight. But now the more boss fights we have, or the higher the boss wave is, the more apparent some of the the materials or minerals are going to be over here. So we're not going to go for poison. I might change my mind there, but right now we're not looking for poison, so we're not really that interested in grabbing that. We do have static. I don't know how that's going to help this, but it does help with the damage on our heavy artillery, so we will grab it. There is our first prowess 2 resilience, which is a fantastic, and we're just going to grab ourselves some form of stats. We are going to get the lethality. It is going to help us deal more bleed, and I mean we might as well go for the bleed route since we do have dismemberment already, and we might as well just get that extra damage and take a look at how much bleed we do at the end of this using the new skill breakdown that the developers have introduced to the game. So that's going to be a little bit fun over there, and this is just craziness, as you can see. Alright, we don't need area of effect over there. There's another prowess 2 resilience. We are going to grab the area of effect as well, which is great. More area of effect, skill cooldown, again don't need that, and we'll probably land up banishing expansive so that we don't have to worry too much about area of effect. Okay, we got double lasers on us. I really don't like where we're sitting. We're just going to chill behind this rock to stop the laser beam from hitting us for right now, because we don't have all of those all the defenses like the double dash yet. But there we go, all of them are dead. Because we don't have the negative healing from the curses, we're not too worried about being hit. We are able to get life back quite easily from our just leveling up, and also from picking up life and so on and so forth. So picking up the life crystals, the health crystals, and leveling up is going to heal us quite a bit in the very beginning, and it's going to just be very, very helpful. Okay, we are already down to the second boss's dead. Did we pick up anything new? We did pick up some titanium. There's some orichalcum like we needed, but that's only 32 of it. We need a lot more if we're going to be looking at leveling up these weapons the way that we want them to. So you are going to need to farm a lot of minerals and go from there. We are looking at maybe getting about 1,000 if we're lucky, but that just depends on whether or not this map is one of the ones that keeps getting rotated. So that's something we do have to see. We're going to do maybe 6 cycles and see how that goes, and see what our findings are from there. Right, area of effect we don't actually need on the ammo box. I think it's going to be fine. And then damage on earthquake is going to be good. And then we're just going to aim our burst of lead at the bosses right now so that we can murder them. Alright, beautiful. And then you can see we get a whole bunch of different materials every time we pick up a boss crystal. And then we're also getting a whole lot of prestige because, we're busy doing a max prestige farm as well. We did lower the amount of elites that spawn and stuff like that because the whole point of this was more to get minerals and materials. So we wanted the bosses to spawn more importantly, and we didn't need to have so much curse to make it harder for ourselves. So it doesn't matter about the prestige. Here we're focusing mainly on material farming, but otherwise you could have had the more elite spawn and so on and so forth and make them beefier. But I decided to not do that, and that's why you'll see you don't necessarily see them as much as you possibly could have or should. We'll get the area of effect as well, but we'll focus first on cast frequency. Of course, the more cast frequency we have, the faster we're going to get aptitude, and then the more resilience we will get. So really strong to land up getting cast frequency on every single build possible. And over there we did get some diamonds. We got 7 diamonds, and we're on 97 orichalcum as well. So not bad, not bad. If you did want to do it, it would take you about 7 minutes per try. If you just wanted to keep restarting the run, you can do that. But we're going to need every single material, not just these ones. So it does help kind of doing this and going, keep doing this, keep playing on different maps and into the Overlord cycle. We do need to do this as quickly as possible, of course, because that's going to help us get to the next stage and see just how quickly we can do from there. Having these debuffs on the enemies is great. We've got dazed, disoriented, so our crit chance and crit damage is going to be relatively high. We then got ourselves prowess, which is going to give us more damage. We've got aptitude, which gives us crit damage. It would be cool if we could get form. I mean, we probably could have if we played skill masteries, but the problem with that is we then don't have the material harvester. So it might actually be really good to play with someone like the barbarian, where you've got the scent of blood and those kinds of skills, where you've got the block chance and the armor power and stuff like that. So the meta build, but you change it up to not use all of those extra skills, and you go from there and see what it's like. But there we go, we got 14 diamonds, 275 orichalcum, so we would be able to go a bit more. We would be able to maybe upgrade one of the weapons that needed diamonds, but we're going to go into here. Let's try like 2 Overlord cycles to see where it goes and go from there. We are going to see what the map is based on the material that we gain. Hopefully we get something really good going for us, but we'll just have to see how it works out. And then we can just stand inside over here. We're actually dealing a lot of damage to these enemies in the very beginning. Usually they don't die as quickly as they had, like I just did there. So that's really good. That's a good sign for a good build if the elites die really quickly. It could just be that the curses that I'm using make it so that the elites are weaker as well, which is probably the case. But over here it looks like we are actually in the sands map. Scorching sands, because of the scorpions as well as these the desert snake buggy things over there. So I think we are on that map. We'll see what material drops with the bosses, and that will give us a better indication as to what we get and what map we are on. And then we'll see what the next map is, and then we can decide, how does this actually work? Is it all random? I don't think it is necessarily random, because I'm always fighting the snakes on this map. And it looks like we actually got the same materials over there. So it looks like the materials that you are getting are always completely, not necessarily completely the same. If we actually just pause here, did we get anything new material wise? And it doesn't look like we did. It looks like all the materials we are going to be getting are based on the previous map that you played on. So it no longer cycles them. Is this better? It actually might be. So this is what Endless, this is how Endless used to work. You used to get the same material over and over again, and the fact that it's now like this over here is actually really, really good for us. That means that we will be able to happily farm absolutely everything. I might go poison. I'm still deciding on the poison. This means that we are in a very, very, very strong position now with regards to farming things. We get resilience to form. That is huge as well for our crit. We don't need that. Projectile to bomb, that is beautiful. I would like another dodge if possible. That would be really, really handy. But again, we don't need it. We are quite tanky. We just need a bit more movement speed if we want to feel a little bit safer. So we'll work on the movement speed. Let's see if we still get the Frozen Wasteland materials. That would be really, really good. And that's going to be very, very helpful to us and to know where we stand with regards to the material farming. And if this is the case, that is just really, really, really good for us. It means that we can target farm materials any way we want to, so we don't have to necessarily worry about what map we on in Overlord. That does look like it stays with those ones. So let's see, what do we get? It is the exact same materials, so that is fantastic. So I needed, for the weapons I'm busy upgrading, I needed the orichalcum and I needed diamonds. So now we just do this. So it looks like it starts off with whatever map it is that you started off on, and it goes from there. Fantastic, great to know. We're actually going to lock movement speed because I do want the movement speed. We're going to go with the bleed, dealing more damage. That's fine. Damage on earthquake, more cast frequency, and more movement speed. Movement speed is actually very helpful over here. We don't have two forms, so form will be where the chain ends. But we haven't really been able to get this down lower than 0.2. So I'm not sure what we did before that made it so that we could get it down to 0.2. But we will definitely try and replicate that for you guys in a different video. We do need further testing before we can happily say that you're only going to get the Frozen Wasteland materials. We are going to do another cycle and see what it is that we actually get and whether or not it works that way. Maybe I was just lucky and it got the same materials. So we're going to have to keep trying there and seeing what we get. Okay, more prowess. That's good. Get some of that and some of that. We're not looking for defenses just yet. We're still a very tanky, healthy, engineer. Okay, bosses are dying with ease. That is a very good sign for us. More diamonds and orichalcum over there, which is fantastic as well. Again, very good for us. We no longer need the lethality, I don't think, even though... Do we need it? Okay, we will go with it. We still need a little bit of it. We still need a tiny bit of lethality. Life is good, and movement speed. Alright, perfect. So all the bosses are dead. We're going to go into the next cycle. Let's hope it is still material for the Frozen Wasteland, because that means that we are able to target farm everything. Everything did get banked over there, so I'm thinking now... Oh no, it didn't. Okay, cool. Alright, let's check what we get. So do we get the same materials when we beat bosses to death? Let's just hope and pray it is the same materials. That would explain why I don't have a lot of diamonds in that, because I hardly ever play on the Frozen Wasteland map. So that could be why I'm lacking those materials compared to a whole lot of other ones. I think maybe recently if I go and do something like that required material from the Dungeon of Despair or the caves, then I'll be in a much better spot with material. It's probably why there's such a huge discrepancy in my materials. But let's see what happens. Nope. These are... That is the same? No? No, now it's different. Alright, so it's not the same. We just got really lucky over there. And we landed up with the Dungeons of Despair material. So the material is different every single time. That's a bit unfortunate with regards to us farming it. But it is what it is. We can't really do much about it. It's still very, very good that it's, you know, we get different choices to the materials. But it would have been cool if it was all one map. Although, in saying that, Overlord did used to cycle the maps themselves. Even if it lands up being the same map every time for the first 2 cycles, that would be really good as well then. But I don't think it works that way. I think it's just random. I think you just randomly get the different materials. It doesn't, you can't even tell what map you're on using the enemies, because I'm pretty sure those first enemies we killed belonged to the Scorching Valley. So I don't know how you can tell what map you're on except for the materials that drop with the bosses. So that's the only way we'll be able to do it. We are farming quite a lot of materials. If you don't like the void, if you don't need any void essences, you've got quite a lot of them, you can turn off the void presence and go from there. But there we go, get more of that, multicast chance, beautiful. Still 0.2 second, I don't know, I want to try and lower that, see where it goes. There's more form, beautiful. Just grabbing these cast frequencies, you know, because that's what's going to help us get buff. We are sitting on armor of a 62% damage reduction. Getting that up as well will be very, very good for us. But you can see we just melt these bosses right now like there's no tomorrow. Very, very good build to get our farming done. I didn't even notice I was already on the 4th bosses over there, sitting on a 13-minute timer over here. That's actually really long, isn't it? No, 30. I mean, some people, we don't even finish, some builds don't even finish the first round in 13 minutes. And here I am finishing the 2nd cycle in that time. So I think that's pretty quick. Okay, movement speed's good, all the bleed, beautiful, crits, damage, bleed, we're just going to keep bleeding. Let's see what map we get. Over here we've got a whole whack of different materials to, you know, farm now. Ugh, I really was hoping we could just get like diamonds, you know. Because that's what we need to farm. Is it quicker to just keep doing the same map over and over and going to the blue portal? It probably is, especially if it only takes you 6 minutes. But maybe Endless is better because you do the same map? No, but even Endless, doesn't Endless change the map now as well? I haven't played Endless in so long. Can anyone confirm or deny? Not deny, but can anyone confirm if Endless actually works that way now? Alright, so it looks like we're back on the Frozen Wasteland map. We are getting more of the silver again. We just saw it happening. So we got more of the Frozen Wasteland material. So that's the third map now that we've landed up getting Frozen Wastelands. So maybe it goes two Frozen Wastelands, then another map, then Frozen Wastelands, then another map, then Frozen Wastelands, then another map, if that works. That's perfect. For me, we actually very lucky because I think it is just completely random. But here we are with a lot of Frozen Wasteland maps, and we are getting buff as heck over here. And we are getting so strong because of all of these. I am going to actually get rid of, like, the next time I see an area of effect thing on one of the skills, we'll probably land up getting rid of it just because we don't need it anymore. You can see we've got more than enough area of effect. We're dealing lots of damage, which is great, and we're getting a lot of the material that we need, which is fantastic. So this is actually working out really, really, really well for us, and I am super happy with this. The build is doing really, really well. Burst of lead. I was going to do something where we use skill mastery, but then I was like, well, we can't do that because how am I supposed to farm the materials if we're using skill mastery? We don't have space for the material harvester as well as the efficient extractor, so we do need to have those. And as you can see now, we've moved from like 1 minute we did the next cycle, so we are able to just kill things so quickly. Also, if you make the elites weaker, you are able to beat the bosses faster because you're now summoning them quicker, which is also a really good thing to do. So we need more damage, more cast frequency. When we see these things, we will take them. I should have gone for the damage. I mean, not the damage over there, but the earth to whatever it was, and go from there. Let's see what the next map gives us, if it's going to be similar materials. We've had caves and the frozen frozen wasteland, sorry. Let's see what this one gives us, if it's the same material or not. And we actually got something different this time. So now we're sitting with gold, which is the Whispering Grove. So it's all different every single time. We'll see cycle 5. If that is the Frozen Wastelands, then yes, the main map that you choose is definitely important in this. But as you can see, we've now got our third map. We do need to live here. Oh, we got Earth Shield. Hello, that's why we completely forgot we have Earth Shield for the healing. Oh my goodness, I'm such a clever person. I completely forgot I'm using Earth Shield. I'm like, how am I healing so much? I'm like, I'm not leveling that quickly, am I? Alright, now as you can see, the floor does become quite difficult to see what's happening, but we've got Earth Shield. We don't have to worry too much about that ourselves personally, but if we wanted to, we could turn down the graphics. If you want to turn them down, you can either go in the in-game settings and do it, or you can push I or O on your keyboard, and that lets you turn down the game visibility like this. And now we can see a little bit better. Of course, the visibility for our ammo box, as you can see, even on 0, the ammo box and the portable nuke are gonna all still show that outline to the skills. So, I mean, having it all the way down doesn't really matter too much if that's the thing that's bugging you the most about those skills. Hopefully one day the developers will make it so it's even less, or maybe make it that the enemies' AoEs can be on top of our AoEs, because that will make it a lot better for us to be able to, see what's happening with, the enemy's attacks and things like that. So that's a hope for one day we get something awesome like that. Okay, we get damage over there, damage over there. That was huge, actually. That's a huge amount of damage increase for us on that. And let's see what the next map has for us. I'm really hoping that the next map is a Frozen Wasteland. That will just be fantastic. That means definitely get it. So let's see what happens, and this will be the last one for us, because otherwise we're taking too long, and I know a lot of you don't actually like that too much, but that doesn't really matter to me too much. We'll go Overlord 6. Tell me, what map do I get material from? It is not the Frozen Wastelands. This is the Caves of Delzog again. which is unfortunate. I was hoping for Frozen Wastelands, but that's 3 out of 5 of the maps only. So where are the other 2 maps? Will we ever see them? Will we ever see them, or are they lost in time? At least this way we get a lot of major Soulstones as well. So you're farming major Soulstones, you're farming a bit of prestige. I mean, we're on 1.3 million prestige as well. And you're also farming material like you have to. And it really didn't take long. It's taken us just under 20 minutes already to get a whack ton of different materials. Again, not really materials we need, like these ones over here, we don't need them. Although we can just go choose another weapon and level that weapon up and see where we go from there. But we definitely want to be leveling the weapons I chose, because those are just really ridiculously strong for me and the way that I play the game. But if you one of those people that just mindlessly love to play the same build over and over and over again, and you want like a single weapon to be the maximum level it can be, then you know you can farm the same map or the you know Overlord endlessly with the same build until you're happy with the amount of material you've got. But let's see what our last final Overlord cycle will be. We are going to do the 8th one because it's just going quick and quick. I mean the 6th one, sorry, because it is going quicker and quicker and quicker, and we're in a good spot. So we might as well see what the last one is, if it is a Frozen Wasteland or not. If it is Frozen Wasteland, this is definitely worth it. I mean, it was still worth it anyway. We did 3 maps in the same time. We could do 3 maps from the beginning anyway. So, and we got more maps from there as well anyway. So it was worth it already. 3 times we hit Frozen Wastelands, and then we hit 2 for Caves of Delzog and 1 for the other map. And that just means that we already beat, you know, with the amount of time it takes, it was really value for minerals and things like that. So regardless of whether or not you get the right map, and there we go, we did get Frozen Wastelands again. So, you know, we got 4 Frozen Wastelands in 20 minutes. That's 24 minutes would have been the time that it took us to do 4 single runs from the start. So we actually saved ourselves some time, and we landed up getting more materials than we would have if we did 4 single runs. So you actually get more materials the faster you're able to complete the runs, because there are going to be things that spawn on the sides that we don't see, that we collect at the end of it, or we don't necessarily go and destroy them. The faster the run is, the more material, the higher chance you have of getting more materials. So unless that's something that was changed discreetly that we don't know about, that is the way that it used to work. I will put a link in how materials actually farm. Sorry, not a link. I'll put a post in the comment section to you know, tell you how materials actually get chosen, you know, legendaries and so on and so forth, so that you know what's happening with them, and you can use that information however you like. But it should be quite helpful to understanding how the materials drop. We are on the 6th Overlord cycle. We did just lose a life there, which isn't very good, but we got a decent chunk of materials. And let's go grab their damage, blood, projectile to bomb, that's better. Block chance, we want damage, so now we're going to go with a bit more defensive ones. If we don't see damage, we can actually re-roll there. Grab that. I forgot we had so many re-rolls, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what I've been doing. I've just been chilling. Misa, please don't say anything, okay? I forgot. Maybe we don't need to end this refill. If I'm not using it, what's the point of it, you know? But there we go. You don't even need to pick up the crystals, because the crystals will auto pick up at the end of the run anyway for us. So we're not too worried about that. Taking a little bit more time to kill the elites as well, so maybe it would be worth to restart. I don't know. Let's see what we can get going over here. We just want damage on stuff that was not damage. Whoops, I just got happy there and clicked on it. I thought it would say damage, but it wasn't. Oops. If we got a second dodge, that would have been fantastic. But you can see you don't necessarily need the dodges. And there we go, everything's dead. And we landed up getting a decent chunk of materials. So for those of you that like to see this, there you go, you get to see it. And for those of you that like to see the death screen, we do want to show you the end screen. So again, we have been looking at it, but there's the bleed passive. We did 75 billion damage. Compare that to everything else that is a fifth. So we dealt the fifth most amount of damage over there with it. Burst of lead dealing just under the amount of damage that Earthquake dealt. It's a really strong skill, really well worth it. I do recommend people start playing with it even in the high Overlord cycle builds. Really strong and really fun to play with. And then the materials we got were a whole lot of them. We got 45 diamonds, which we needed. We needed the orichalcum. We got 1,000 of them. 10,000 silver. 5,000 of this off one run, or 2 runs, sorry. 3,000 of gold off one of them. It's just really well worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.